Hello and welcome to the Woolly Bee Podcast. This is episode 11. Today is March 27th, 2017. My name is Sarah. My username on Ravelry is MacAttack, and my username on Instagram is Mac08Attack. Thank you for coming and watching today's episode. If you're a new viewer, especially, thank you and I hope you like it. And if you're returning, again, thanks for coming back. Hi guys, I hope everybody's doing well. It is spring, and this episode is long overdue. So, backstory. I actually recorded this episode almost 3 weeks ago when I was home for spring break, and recorded great. I knew it was going to be a little delay in getting it put up just for the processing, but technology has still been biting me in the butt, and so with that I knew it was going to take some time, and what ended up happening was I left my old computer at home, which had the video files on it. There's no way I was getting the files. That was that. And then the last couple weeks have just been insanity. So, sorry for the delay, but if you are a returning viewer, you are fully aware that this is a very sporadic podcast. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I still do have aspirations to make this a bi-weekly podcast, but we're not quite there yet. Maybe this summer. But for those of you who are new, this is a primarily knitting podcast that comes to you from Central Virginia here in Charlottesville, where the University of Virginia is located. That's where I'm a grad student. So let's jump into FOs. I finished all the things in February, and I, as usual, don't remember the last time I recorded and where I was at with finished objects. So I'm just going to kind of show you everything all over again. So first up, you guys saw this on the last episode, I remember that, but it was not blocked. My Afton wrap has been blocked and worn a bunch. I love this thing. So this is the Afton wrap, so here's one end of it. That is coming up so well. Ooh. That's where I Kitchenered it, right here. And then it just keeps going. So this is a giant wrap. It is done where you start on both ends and you knit to the middle and then graft down the middle. And it comes in a variety of sizes, which I've talked about before. I knit the stitches of the wide scarf size, basically, but I used an Aran weight yarn. I used Blue Sky Fibers Extra, which is an alpaca merino, and this is the buttercream colorway, and I'm in love. I'm so freaking in love. It's unimaginable. This is now one of my most favorite, most loved finished objects ever. I love it. I want another one. It's heavenly. The yarn is amazing. The pattern's amazing. It's so squishy. It's so cushy. It's everything I could have wanted and more. But this is the Afton wrap by Jared Flood. It's a Brooklyn tweed pattern. And it's really not very hard. But it's done so beautifully, and it was a pure joy to knit. I, again, will knit it again because it was just, I enjoyed every moment of it. But I blocked it. It did take a while to dry because it's Aran weight, and I did forget to roll it in a towel, so it was like, oh shoot. But it came off the blocking mats beautifully. It's soft, it's squishy, it's cozy. I can wear it like this, kind of like as a wrap, and I have a shawl stick that I can help to keep it pinned up on my shoulder. But I otherwise wear it, ooh, there goes my hair, as a scarf. It is large. It is very, very large. But when it's cold, that's okay. But this project has given me a renewed love of alpaca, which is something I kind of got away from for a while, and now I'm back. I'm in love. So that is my Afton wrap in all of its blocked glory. So highly, highly recommend this project. Next up, I think the rest of these things were not finished when I last recorded, for real. So I finished my Range shawl by Andrea Mowry and blocked it, and it's huge. So hopefully we'll get it all in the frame, mostly. It's probably a little wrinkly because it's been crumpled up in the corner, but that's okay. So this is the Range shawl by Andrea Mowry. I knit this out of 4 different colors of wool stock by Blue Sky Fibers. And let's see if I remember. Midnight Ocean, Midnight Sea, something like that. October Sky, which is not quite that blue, it's more, that's a little better. Earth Ivy, and Golden Meadow. So it's a giant asymmetrical triangle. Well, the finished shape is a symmetrical triangle, but it's knit not like a traditional top-down triangle, because you start over here with just a couple stitches, and you knit, and then this edge here is your bind off. So I love it. It is another Schlanket, and I wear it like this. And again, super cozy, super comfy, and I really like wearing shawls that are knit like this, this way, because you get to see all of the different things that are happening. So that is my Range shawl. It's nice and big and squishy. It's pretty easy. There is brioche in the shawl, so if you're new to two-color brioche, this is probably a really good one to learn on, because otherwise it's a lot of stockinette and garter stitch, and, or some kind of two-color slip stitch pattern. But it's super easy, super squishy, and I love it. And it blocked out ginormously large as well. And the dimensions are on my project page. But I knit this on size 8s. I believe, yeah, 8s. And here it is. So that's my Range shawl. And then I got a bug up my butt where I decided I needed to use up all of the leftovers for my Range shawl for some reason. And I found this little guy. So this is the Mira hat by Amy Christophers. It's a free pattern by Barocco. And I knit this out of the 4 colors left over from my Range shawl. I did do, ooh, we have fuzzies. I did do a couple modifications. I cast it on in the Earth Ivy, and all of these details are on my project page. But I cast it on in that, and then I knit the brim. I did like a 1/2 inch less on the brim because I was worried about running out of this color. I took out 1 row, I think up here in the Golden Meadow colorway, because it has like a plain row up here but not down here, and it was kind of weird. And I knew I didn't need the height for the hat, so I took that out. And I believe I swapped, I don't know if you can really tell under the pom-pom, I believe I swapped the 2 colors up here. I think they were supposed to be these 2 colors per the chart, but I flipped them based on what I wanted at the time. So, and then I made a nice giant pom-pom out of all 4 colors. And that's actually pretty color accurate as well. But this is the Mira hat. It is a nice little beanie. It's a lot of fun, and I like it. The only thing I wish, so I knit this on size 6s, I believe. Again, it's on my project page. It's a teeny bit tight on my head, and that could just be because I have no idea what my head measurement is, and I don't know how it compares to the pattern. There's nothing wrong with the pattern, but if I did this again next time out of wool stock, which was stupendously perfect for this pattern, I would add another repeat. The repeat is only 6 stitches. So it's really, really easy to add or subtract repeats depending on the size that you need. So that's what I would do next time if I was using this yarn, because I think wool stock is it's definitely on the lighter end of worsted. I've woven on all the ends except the pom-pom ends. I don't always like to weave in pom-pom ends because if I do want to take this off, I can. I also have had this hat pattern Guy approved by both my brother and my father. That was my phone. Sorry. Not make noise. When I finished it, I came and showed my parents because it was over break and showed them the pom-pom. And my dad he like walks across the kitchen and goes, "Can I try that on?" And I was like, yeah, and it was definitely too small for him, but he was like, "I like that." And I was like, whoa, okay, mental note, Christmas gift. So I would definitely add probably 2 repeats for him because he's got a giant man head. But he really liked it, and then my brother said he liked it as well. So the color is kind of what, depends on your guy whether or not they like it. I think my dad did like the color, but he also didn't necessarily say he liked it for him, if that makes sense. But nevertheless, the pattern is Guy approved by my 2 pretty manly guys in my life, for what it's worth. I did block this, but I blocked it flat because that's what I had. So there's a little bit, you can kind of tell right here, like a crease. But you can't tell when you put it on. This was my first Fair Isle project in 6 or 7 years that I completed. And it was perfect because it's traditional Fair Isle where you're only working with 2 colors at a time and you're never knitting more than 5 stitches in 1 color at a time. So I did not feel the need to catch any floats. But I think it turned out really, really nicely. Here's what the inside looks like. I clearly haven't trimmed any ends, and I honestly probably won't. But that's the inside with my floats of my color work, which is a really cool pattern as well. But I definitely recommend this pattern. It's free, it's easy, and it's really impressive. So I did not use all my leftovers with this, as I'd hoped, but I came pretty close. So know that assuming you get the same gauge that I got, and I'm not entirely certain what that is, you can get a hat and a shawl, the rain shawl, out of 2 skeins each of 4 colors of wool stock. My last finished object I don't have with me because it was March and I didn't feel the need to have super bulky mittens with me, but I finished my Pesco vegetarian mittens out of Dancing Leaf Farms Boogie Woogie in the Carnival colorway. But they were my rainbow Easter egg bright textured mittens. I love them. I did wear them over spring break because it was cold. They were the only mittens that I had, but they were fantastic. So they were a great pattern. I knit a pair of mittens in probably about 6 hours, which is hard to beat. So they're great. I just don't have them with me because I didn't feel the need to bring them back after spring break, especially because I have mittens here if it got cold, which it did, which I'll talk about later. But that is my last finished object. But let's go into works in progress. So the dangers of not recording for a while is that you can make a dent in a project and you haven't shown it to anyone. So I am sample knitting for designer Olga Baraya Kefilian on her brand new pattern release called Denpa. Here's what it looks like so far. And let's see. Of course I'm tangled, as usual. So here's what it looks like. And if you hear background noise, I'm sorry. It's too nice not to have the windows open. So here's what it looks like. I am knitting the narrow size, which is about a scarf. The ones, if you do look up the pattern in the picture, is the wrap size. So it's either a wrap or a scarf, depending on the size you're knitting. But I'm knitting the scarf. And this pattern, it's the same general wave pattern. It's a variation on like feather and fan. And it starts narrow, and it gets wider as you go. And as you're doing that, you're working your way through 2 gradient sets. So it starts off on one end with the darkest color of one gradient and the lightest of the other. And you're going to work your way through. So here's where I switched. So I went a shade lighter in the gray and a shade darker in the orange. And then I did the same thing here. And I just switched, or I'm in the process of switching right now. So here's the next orange. And somewhere under here is the next gray. And I'm having a good time with it. It's a very easy pattern. And she disguises the increases to make it wider right within the pattern. It's very clever. And it's really fun to watch the colors change with the pattern. So that's what I'm currently working on. I'm knitting it on size 4 needles. It's called Denpa. And the yarn that I'm using is Miss Babs Gradient Sets for Yummy 2-ply. There's probably going to be a little crinkling here, so I'm sorry. But I am knitting it out of Cygnus, which is the orange. So these are the 2, you can see, the 2 shades that are left after what I'm starting now. So Cygnus is the orange. And Karina is the gray. And then again, there are the 2 grays that are left. So Karina. So it's designed for 2 gradient sets. I believe you can also get the wrap out of just 2 sets as well. The wrap's a little bit shorter, but of course wider than the scarf. So that's what I'm knitting. Olga picked the colors. This will be hers when it is done. So I do not get to keep it, but that's okay. But I'm having a great time knitting it. It's really cool, and I think the whole color shift is genius. So highly recommend it. That's what's on my needles. I did start a sock over winter break. I don't believe I'm going to finish it right now because I knitted on needles that I think are too small. So I'm not going to show it because it's going to get frogged, but it is stunning, if I say so myself. But yeah, so this is Denpa. It's living in my orange. There's so much orange happening right now. Orange French Supply field bag. Except that it doesn't leave the couch very often. But that is that. And yes, no, orange is not my favorite color, but hey, UVA. Yeah, that's the mailman. Sorry. You can probably hear that too. It's a helicopter. It was so quiet. Oh well. So that is what I have on my needles right now. I would like to cast on all the things as usual, but I can't because I gotta get that done. The deadline is May 1st, which I will beat. But I'm pretty monogamous, as you guys know, normally, and when it comes to things that are deadline knitting, I like to just get them done. Get them done, get them over with, get them sent to where they need to go, even if I'm enjoying them, just because then I can do my own stuff without feeling guilty. Alright, so I have no cross stitch to show you for this week, but I think my bug is coming back. I lost my cross stitch mojo back in January when I started my Heaven and Earth designs, and it was because I was getting lines kind of where I was stitching, and I still haven't figured out how I'm going to fix that, but I kind of was like, let's just put the cross stitch away, let's just step back and go from there. So I think the bug is coming back, and I attribute that entirely due to the weather. As soon as it becomes spring, I want to stitch. I still want to knit, but the cross stitch bug always comes back when springtime hits. So I think I may pull some of that out tonight, depending on how much homework I get done, but the bug is returning, I guess I should say. I have no spinning as usual. So let's go into stash enhancement. And this is going to touch some on just kind of life, because I went to Fiberspace over break, as expected. So I spent 2 separate Saturdays at Fiberspace, one of which I ended up working due to some staffing needs that were last minute, but that meant that I brought yarn. I did not bring the majority of it with me, just because a lot of it was destined for hats or winter things, and I was like, I'm not going to knit them right now, and I've got enough other stuff here that is higher up in the immediate queue to knit, so I didn't feel the need to bring them. I took really terrible photos on my phone that I needed to put on Ravelry, but if you are curious, it's all in my stash. I just doesn't have pictures yet. But let me show you what I've got. So, in no particular order, I placed a Knit Picks order, and I haven't ordered for Knit Picks in years, at least for yarn. But they were doing a promotion, and I found something that I'd had my eye on for ages that was on sale, and thought, why not? So I got some of their Bare Hair, which is a finger and weight, 80% wool, 20% Angora, 219 yards skein. And so there is the tag information. So this is undyed. That's the only way it comes. I don't remember if at one point this did come in a dyed version. I don't think so, but this was like a limited edition. They did years ago, but they still have it. But it was like $4.99 a skein or something crazy like that. So naturally I bought 10. But I have in mind to make a wrap much like my Afton, but a fingering weight version. Because while the Afton is amazing, it's warm. And sometimes you just want something that's a little lighter. So that's what this is. I don't plan to dye it. I don't plan to do anything with it besides knit it into a wrap. I have an idea for what I'm going to knit it into, but I'm still kind of figuring that out. But it was a good deal, so I got that. So I get 10 skeins of this. It's very nice and soft. You can kind of tell if you look like over here where my hair is. There's a slight halo to this. From the Angora, I expect there to be more once it's knit and washed, and I'm excited for that. So I got 10 skeins of that. I also got, so they came out with some pins, because pins right now are all the rage. I did not need these. But they were, at the time when I got that, doing a promotion where if you spend a certain amount of money, you could put in a code and get a free pin. So I was torn between 2 pins, so I got them both. One was free. So I got the sheep and the alpaca. And they're adorable, and I love them. So they're clearly not put on the bag yet, but they will go at some point on one of my fringe bags with my Fiberspace Commander pin, and they'll be all happy. But they're really cute. I really like them. They're a good size for comparison to like my thumb. They're a good size. They're not too big, they're not too small. So the alpaca in a scarf and the sheep knitting away. So I got those. I also got, so this was purchased, pre-ordered, whatever you want to call it, back in January, end of January. But it was dyed to order, and I knew it was going to take a while. So I got my Nomadic Yarns shipment. So, and it's funny that I bought this first skein I'm going to show you, because I knew the turnaround time, and I knew when I was going to get it, and I knew that that was going to be in March, and I still got it anyways. But I got Lettuce Snow, which is I got this on her Twisty sock base, which is 400 yards of 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's one of her speckled colorways. And so it's on a natural base with navy blue and turquoise blue speckles. And it's very, very pretty. I did totally think that this is going to be on a light blue base, but it's, in the long run, it's better because I have a skein of Miss Babs. It's a speckly, snow-themed skein that's on a light blue base, so having a natural base is awesome. So this is probably going to be socks down the road, but I think it'll be a lot of fun to see how that knits up. So I got that. This colorway is not available in her shop anymore. When I ordered, she had 2 speckled colorways. The other one I think was called Glitter Bomb. It was pink. That is available, but let it snow. Clearly it's March. You don't need this. I don't know if this is a color she does every year. I don't know. But if you're interested in it, check back in the winter or contact her and just find out what the deal is. And her is, I believe her name's Ashley, but Nomadic Yarns. There's the tag. So I got this, and I also got, so she's known for her self-striping. And I don't know what made me look, but I was in the market for a self-striper. And while I could have had them all, and there are a couple others that I'm thinking I'll get at some point. This one, I looked at and was like, well, those are my colors. Therefore, mine. So this is Tropico. And that's not quite accurate, but it's pretty good. So this is again on her twisty sock base. And the colors, I don't remember the color order, I need to write it on the tag. But the colors are hot pink, like magenta, spring green, orange, navy blue. This is not aqua blue. This is mint, like electric mint. It's awesome. So that's what this color is. I don't remember what she calls it, but it's like a seafoamy minty color. So it's a 5-striper, and that's what it looks like. And of course I got it in her Gobstopper ball put up, because of course. So that is that. It's very squishy and I'm excited to knit with it. I have all these plans for this one day in May that I'm going to knit all the things. They call it Match Day for us here in our education program, where they basically hold us hostage for like 8 or 10 hours. And at some point during the day, they give everybody envelopes with where they are matched to student teach. So they totally ripped the idea off of med school with residency, and they told us that. But we have to go, and then they're going to like start teaching us stuff about student teaching and the process. I'm not entirely certain, but I know that if I don't go, that's bad. So I imagine that there's going to be a lot of sitting in lecture halls where I don't really need to be taking notes, but I need to be listening. I don't knit in class otherwise, but I'm thinking this particular day is going to be a pretty good day to knit, and I currently have plans to knit like 3 separate projects. And I'm like, oh yeah, you'll just totally knit all 3 things that day. No, I won't. But this is one of them that I'm always like, oh, you could totally knit that on match day. I'm like, I mean, you totally want to knit it, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So, that is that. And then, some of my Fiberspace goodies, I'm really excited about. This is one of the other ones I'm like, oh, you'll knit that on match day. No, you won't. So when I was at Fiberspace, the day before I worked, they got a shipment of Lemonade Shop in. And I looked at the colorways and decided that there weren't any that I needed. There was a couple that I was interested in, but I didn't need them. Then I got there the next day and I looked at the table and was like, I might need that. And I was playing and I found my fade. And so Find My Fade, if you're not familiar with it, is a shawl by Andrea Mowry. It's a pretty simple, mostly garter stitch shawl with some mesh panels. And it's designed for you to take all of your speckly skeins in your stash, or whatever you want to do, and radiate them somehow. And I knew I didn't have enough yarn. Enough yarn? Ha! I have so much yarn. enough yarn in my stash that wasn't already earmarked for other stuff to do a Find Your Fade. I surely have multiple fades in my stash, but none that I was willing to break away from their current plans. But I also knew that I would know my fade when I found it. And I found it and was like, I'm sold. Sold. Done. Mine. So here's my fade. So excited. I do only have 5 colors. I am going to do, I don't have the pattern yet, but I'm going to do rework some math to do it for 5 colors because I didn't want to buy anymore. And this is perfect. Let me hold it up close. So there's no way that this is going to capture the awesomeness that is this fade. But here are the colors that are in it. So the first one is Pixie Sticks. And these are all on her simple sock, which is, again, it's probably the exact same base as this. It's the 80/20 2-ply yarn. So these do not sparkle, but that's okay. I didn't need a rainbow speckled sparkled shawl. That would be a bit much. So Pixie Sticks. Next up is Hippo Disco. Third is Kitchen Sink, which I'm in love with. Kitchen Sink. Fourth is Sweatpants. And fifth is Silver Lining. So the way this fade works is, if you can't already tell, is I am gradiating the background color to go from a pale gray to a dark gray, and each one of these skeins has some amount of rainbow speckles. The 2 darker ones don't have as much. The Kitchen Sink has the most, but I don't really care. So that's my fade, and it's perfect. So I'm excited to knit this. I'd like to get this done this summer, this spring or summer, because duh. So this is my fade, y'all. I got it. So I still need to Instagram my fade, but it is. So I'm very excited for this. And yeah, that's what I have for stash enhancement. There'll be more stash enhancement next time as usual, but that's what I have for now. Everything else I got is on my stash page if you're interested. But there's some goodies in there as well. Some Jill Draper, some Blue Sky, some Baby Cash, all that good stuff. So let's just jump into life real quick. I had spring break 3 weeks ago, and it was lovely. I had an interview that went really, really well. I had my birthday. My birthday was back on March 8th, and I actually recorded that morning. So it was super, it was a beautiful day. It was wonderful, and it was my birthday. And I met Denise for lunch. I had met Jillian the previous Saturday for pie and coffee at Fiber Space, my fiber friends. Oh! Side note, I have one more FO that I don't know where it is. Alright, well, I finished my Team Sunday Ricky hats. They were out of the Miss Babs Cunlin. They were my secret knitting. I'm gonna pause this and see if I can find that. Alright, so I finished my Team Sunday Ricky hats, which were the secret knitting. So I knit 3 Ricky hats out of Miss Babs Cunlin in the Sunday Funday colorway. And the first 2, so I had 2 skeins, it's a DK Merino Cashmere Silk yarn. It's like 280 yards per skein. And I knit each of their hats out of 1 skein. And then my hat was alternating every ridge, so every 2 rounds. with the leftovers, which is why I did some funky stuff down here on the brim, but it got to be more normal up here. But I finished them, and they gave them, and they love them, and it's awesome. So, my secret knitting. I did a Channel Island cast on because why not? Which is now all fuzzy, but that's okay. And they're great. So, it's nice and slouchy, but not super slouchy. I used up pretty much all the yarn, all but like 8 yards. It was perfect. So all the specs are again on my project page, but yeah, Team Sunday hats. So I'm probably just gonna leave it on because my hair. But I got to see them, got to hang out, had my birthday, and then my mom and I got facials the day after my birthday as part of my birthday present, which was amazing. Hung out, we went to our local St. Patrick's Day parade. I worked, as I said, for a little bit. Yeah, it was a nice break. It was way too short, as always, but it was great. And then I came back and I had a crazy, insane 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago today, took my Praxis test, which is the test required to become a teacher that sees if I know the content that I'm teaching. So I took the Earth Science Praxis test and did really well, which I'm excited about. My brother came this past weekend to visit. We saw Bryan Cranston, who was Walter White in Breaking Bad. Yesterday he came and gave us a talk here at UVA, and it was delightful. So if you ever get a chance to see him and you like him, do it. It was awesome. Awesome is the word of the day. So yeah, it's been a really good couple weeks, month, however long it's been, but it's been insanity. I will say I still don't have a formal piece of paper, but I will say that by all accounts I will be working full-time come the fall up in Northern Virginia. I have gotten a job with one of the biggest school districts actually in the country, teaching earth science at one of their high schools. So I'm very, very excited for that. Kind of the next chapter is going to be opening up as this chapter closes. So that's still a little ways away, but I'm really excited on that front. And I'm happy that it's spring. I missed winter. We didn't have winter. It snowed for a hot second, and by snowed I mean frozen rained 2 weeks ago, and it was disgusting. But it's spring now. I'm looking outside and there's still no leaves, but there are flowers starting to come out, and it's delightful. You can have the windows open and it's chilly at night. Oh, it's the best. But that is all I have for now. Again, I have no clue when the next episode will be. Hopefully less than 4 or 5 weeks, but you never know. Until then, happy knitting. And if you have any questions about anything you saw on this episode, please feel free to shoot me a message on Ravelry or Instagram. Those are the best ways to contact me. I have decided that for the foreseeable future, because I am lazy, there will be no show notes. Sorry. But yeah, if you have any questions, just please let me know. And I'll be happy to answer them or steer you in the right direction. But until next time, happy knitting, happy stitching, enjoy springtime, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.